All right, welcome back to SharpEdgeNews.com. I hope you guys are doing well. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and follow everywhere. Yes, we showed up. Maybe a day late, but we still showed up. But thank you for being here. Like I said, please, you're watching Sharp Edge News TV right now. Help us share, like, subscribe, follow, turn up your notifications everywhere. That way you're notified when we go live or when we drop videos. But anyway, without any further ado, I want to get right into it. We do have some trendy stories around the world that we want to cover. But ladies and gentlemen, get ready to meet a man who wears two extraordinary crowns of distinction. As the publisher and editor-in-chief of SharpEdgeNews.com and the esteemed High Chief Odokwetu of Ayede Ogbese in Akure North Local Government, Ondo State, he's a force to be reckoned with, whether he's leading the charge in the newsroom or upholding the traditions of his kingdom. He's always ahead of the curve, sharp, insightful, and unstoppable. Let's hear it from the one and only High Chief Oladimeji Abitogun. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Ola. It's so good to be back. And to our audience around the globe, we say good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Just for you to know that we appreciate you. And in the spirit of the season, we say happy holidays all the way to Christmas. I mean, counting from last Thursday when we had our national holiday in the United States, Thanksgiving, and then the New Year too would come. So um, we appreciate you, and this is your weekly tonic. So come on board. Let's take this. Let us take this cruise. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Welcome back. Without any further ado, we're just going to jump right into the special. I know you have a few other things to cover, but I also want to bring this up to our attention that as of today, there was a news that was trending around about a gentleman called Dele Farotimi. There's a report here on, hold on one second, let me get that right. There's a report here on, I think it's on Vanguard, no, on Punch NG. And then we're just going to speak briefly about that. But let me read it to you. And I know you have some other stuff that we're going to cover today as well. But let me read that first to you, and then we'll take it from there. Apparently, I didn't even know this part. It's a SAN, a senior advocate of Nigeria. He's a lawyer. I'm not sure if he's a SAN, but human rights lawyer Dele Farotimi's arrest
As a
illegal.
prominent lawyer and political activist,
Gotcha.
prominent among the obedient activists and politicians.
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
right. So, according to Punch Nigeria, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has confirmed that human rights lawyer Dele Farotimi was arrested over an alleged criminal libel. Farotimi's arrest was reviewed by the 2023 presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, Omoyele Sowore, in a post on his X handle on Tuesday. In a statement he signed, Falana disclosed that Farotimi was arrested in Lagos State over alleged defamation on Tuesday, stating that his arrest was illegal. Falana demanded Farotimi's unconditional release from police custody, noting that Lagos State is among the two states in Nigeria that have decriminalized defamation. The statement read, I just confirmed that Mr. Dele Farotimi was arrested in Lagos today for alleged criminal libel. And in quote, in demanding Mr. Rotimi's unconditional release from illegal custody, I wish to state, without any fear of contradiction, that Lagos State is among the two states in Nigeria that have decriminalized defamation in its entirety. In fact, the current state of the law was confirmed by the Supreme Court of Nigeria in the case of Aviomo versus Commissioner of Police, when Helen Ogunwumiju, JSC, held that defamation was decriminalized in the criminal law of Lagos in 2011 and Edo State Criminal Law Bill 2020. Now, the rumors that I'm getting is that he said something against the person of Elumelu. Okay, that's something that I saw from something I don't really consider a credible source, and that's very, very dark, man. So I'm not sure if I can confirm that, but I'm looking at Daily Trust. Daily Trust says human rights lawyer arrested for defaming Tony Elumelu. The Nigerian police force has arrested. So Daily Trust is saying that. Okay. So I don't know. I wanted to know what your take
And
on this, because
Daily Trust is credible enough.
okay.
I don't know the other source you're quoting, but this is everywhere in Nigerian media. Mr. Adele Farotimi, you will remember him not just for being an outspoken, obedient activist and a political operative. He, like you rightly identified him, is a lawyer. I do not know if he's a senior advocate of Nigeria, but I know he's a prominent lawyer. Now, beyond that is the fact that he's been in the trenches trying to join other people to make sure that Nigeria has a very credible deal, a government that operates with integrity. Now, I would not know, as at the moment, the details of the alleged defamation against Mr. Tony Elumelu, but let us quickly point out that alongside what we were going to talk about initially, the what is now unbecoming about the administration in Nigeria and some of its appointees and operatives to come after whoever dares to call out the administration on its insensitivities and outrightly repressive methods. Something that we have witnessed in the way and manner in which the monetary and economic policies of the country were rolled out. Number one, that that is buttressing what everybody fears about how Nigeria is receding and drifting into autocracy instead of deepening its democracy, is what you have just seen in the alleged arrest of Mr. Dele Farotimi. Farotimi, you will remember, is a sarcastic post. The way he tried to lampoon the administration using the well-known genre of satire and other. He said, but for Tinubu, he would not have known that there are gullible and all kinds of characters in Nigeria, and that Tinubu's that he is thankful, although he is roundly opposed to the administration of Bola Tinubu and the manner in which the administration got into power. But he was saying in some posts that, but for Tinubu coming on board, it would not have been easy to identify certain Nigerians as being spineless and lacking in principle. That said, we were talking of we were going to talk about Jimoh Ibrahim, who came and got so bold a few days back, about 3 weeks now, and they said that former President Olusegun Obasanjo was guilty of mutiny for coming on the world stage at Yale to put some holes in the in the mode of operations of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government in Nigeria, particularly the way and manner in which some of the economic policies of the administration is biting hard on citizens. So this wrapped up with that of Mr. Dele Farotimi is showing one thing, particularly when you look at Jimoh Ibrahim being somebody that was particularly close to the late General Sani Abacha's administration, and then dangling the possibility of felony and treason against the former president of Olusegun Obasanjo for daring to call Tinubu out on some of the inhumane policies that have been dealt on the Nigerian people. You will understand that everybody ought to be concerned about where Nigeria is going. We have witnessed a major drift. For example, why would an opposition politician like Dele Farotimi be arrested? I do not think that Mr. Tony Elumelu would be averse to some public criticisms as somebody who operates not just as a very successful Nigerian investor, but somebody who is known for his own views too. I'm not sure that would be the entire reason why Dele Farotimi would be arrested. It shows one thing, that the administration in Nigeria is becoming so jittery, and any opportunity at clamping down on dissenting voices and views and opinions will not be missed. This is where we are at. And whose behest was Jimoh Ibrahim acting when he said Olusegun Obasanjo is guilty of mutiny. What mutiny? All in the name of free speech. So whether it's Dele Farotimi that is being picked or Obasanjo that is being exposed to all kinds of ridicule and lampoon from the administration, this gives room for so much concern on our part and generality of Nigerians, wherever, whether inside the country or outside. We cannot sit by and watch until everything begins to turn against Nigeria again. So, a word, they say, is enough for the wise. I think the administration should face real governance, good governance, instead of identifying and keeping a list of enemies who must be thrown into some form of gulag in Nigeria. Thank you.
All right. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, sure.
All right, great. All right, thank you so much for that. I do think I have a question. Okay, now obviously, they said, okay, it used to be. Maybe you can educate me a little bit. What's the difference between libel and defamation?
A very, very thin line. Apparently, if we go into as a student of law, if we go, because I don't want us to go overboard, but let us make that an assignment for everybody. But to be libeled and defend it can be, used interchangeably.
Okay.
Somebody, is saying one is outright lie, and which is not true, and the defamation is saying, well, this is is capable of bringing somebody into ridicule and public, public embarrassment and all that. So, they can be used interchangeably, but they are two different words. Absolutely.
Okay.
So, if I want to go into the nitty-gritty of it all, we'll be spending too much time. But let us make it an assignment for our community. People should contribute.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, in fact, speaking of people who have been contributing, they've been getting quite spicy in the comment section, but we'll have that conversation some other time. But I'm very interested in where we see this. I think the last update that we got.
Between what's it called, libel, defamation, and slander. Yeah, they are words that can occur within same environment, and anybody could approach the law court as to what an alleged report or statement by anybody, whether in the public domain or elsewhere, the injury that it can cause and the damage it can do to their public their public profile and image.
Right. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sure. I'm hearing you loud and clear.
All right, great. So everybody do me a favor. That's our special for the week. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. We do have some other trendy stories around the world that we're going to tackle right now. And yes, we'll be right back. We're back. So if you notice, I'm not in my regular studio, so I am. Pardon me, I'm a little bit clumsy, but we're gonna get through this show. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise. We have a.
State of Nevada, specifically Las Vegas, is so far apart. 6 hours flight from the East Coast. You know that. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's no mean distance. So thanks
I,
for all you do to make sure that we reach our audience every week.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So we have this news: tax bill showdown. Tinubu's presidency fires back at critics. I'm going to read this small report that I found on Punch Nigeria. The presidency has dispelled uh, concerns about the speed of coming up with the tax reform bill. Hold on 1 second. Let me hold on. Okay,
It's all right.
sorry.
Yeah.
So sorry about that. Pardon me. That knocking was not going to stop. So that's
It's okay.
all right. So tax bill
Yeah, I
showdown.
can imagine that could be hotel room service people, and so it's all right.
Yes,
Let's
yes.
go.
Yep. So the presidency has dispelled concerns about the speed of coming up with the tax reform bills, emphasizing the extensive efforts that have gone to the process. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Temitope Ajayi, highlighted on Monday via X that the reforms are the result of the contribution from over 80 professionals over a 14-month period, warning that any delay in their passage would mirror the protracted 20-year legislative journey of the petroleum industry bill. Okay, so as a backstory to this, I'm not sure if you're privy to why this was trending. I think over the past few
Oh,
days.
I am. I am.
Okay. Yeah,
I
maybe
am
you can
aware
bring
of
us up to
what.
speed.
Yeah, I am aware of what Mr. Oyedele, the well-known professional who spent close to, if not more than 20 years with uh, Price Water Cooper, Waterhouse Cooper accounting firm. He is known to be a leading African expert and professional when it comes to taxes or taxation. So what he and his team, what they have put together, what they have done, which is an executive bill before Nigeria's National Assembly, and the partisan views, sharp divisions that this has given rise to, and what some of the legislators, especially the senators, particularly Senator Ali Undume, who is from Borno State, what he had been conversing is that there ought to have been a public hearing that should have gone through the House committee that is related to that kind of what's it called? That kind of situation in the National Assembly before it was brought to the plenary. So that said, the argument again is such that who is going to be benefiting from the new taxation order, the new unfolding taxation order. From ongoing debates about it, what you call ping pong exchanges on this, like people playing table tennis, is almost like it's almost going to become a situation in which the debate, that reform itself, is being weaponized as South versus the North. And somebody has, yes, and it's almost so shameful that there can't be any meaningful national discourse in Nigeria without people trying to reduce it to us versus them versus us situation in the country. And the National Assembly, which should operate as truly being national, is reduced to an arena where partisan and narrow ethnic views and viewpoints seize the center stage. That said, what do you think I am thinking of the bill in itself? Because it's saying that whoever is earning anything less than 800,000 naira maybe a year will not be taxed in Nigeria. But it's, on the front burner also is the use of a VAT, value added tax, which in itself is it's not consumption. It's not production tax. It's not tax imposed on production. It's something that comes on consumption, kind of sales tax. So all these things have been differentiated by the work that has been put together by Mr. Taiwo Oyedele. So what is my take on it? Honestly,
sorry, what's the official role of Mr. Taiwo Oyedele?
Mr. Taiwo Oyedele leads the presidential committee on that reform. And what he said at the outset of the sitting of this committee was that there are so many layers and all kinds of nebulous and amorphous taxes. So the mandate they had was to streamline and consolidate all this so that nobody is scared of doing business in Nigeria or working in Nigeria because of the hidden and the unofficial levies and taxations that go on the side, which in itself does nothing other than feeding the the insatiable greed, the greed factor in all kinds of persons, both state and non-state actors, who just can wake up and begin to impose levies on Nigerians. Some of this qualifying as an outright extortion. So he's streamlining it all. Now, there is this Bole Kaja, like a bus stop kind of economics that people often push, almost trying to throw the spanner in the works of this Oyedele committee. And which is that? Everybody is saying, oh, the value-added tax. Since River State, Lagos State will be benefiting more because of consumption that takes place in those two states, that Northern states will be at disadvantage. And people point out to the fact that Northern states were so eager to impose restrictions on liquor sales, the sales of alcohol, say beer and all kinds of spirits that could be consumed. And at the same northern part of Nigeria that will hide under Sharia and Islamic precepts to say that strong drinks cannot be sold up north, would not want to benefit in sharing the proceeds of taxes that have been paid as matter of value down south. And I said that kind of argument in itself misses the entire point. Because other than alcohol, there are other things that are sold that are widely on sale up north that you don't find in the south. Say like beverages, like soft drinks. You know, some people would avoid that thinking, it contains too much sugar and what have you. And then, but massively, people consume all those up north. And in as much as personally, I have listened to the debates, including the one hosted by Mr. Shinho Kimbaloye of Channels Television, the town hall on it. honestly, I think the bill should be given a trial. It should be tried. Government is a continuum. If this
Mm-hmm.
new if these new reforms are tested and they are not working, nothing says that this cannot be brought back and re-examined. I mean, it's something that because I don't want to dissipate too much energy or time on this. What
Right.
I'm saying is that people should first bury their preconceived notions about what is going on, including some politicians. We find out that whom we find out have not even gone through the draft or the bill as it were. All of them coming out to take a position.
Right.
Yes, I have listened to the analysis, and I think it should be given a trial. Now, it looks like a lot of Nigerian poor people may not be, the government is not too excited about taxing the poor in Nigeria. I think from my initial assessment and analysis of whatever is contained in this bill, it looks like what Democrats here and independents in America would love to see as the rich paying more in order to
Right.
to support and
to support the nation as a whole.
yeah,
and the Commonwealth.
subsidize. Let's use the word subsidy that's kind of to subsidize the lifestyle of the poor. Some helping hand, somebody to
Subsidize
lean on.
poverty.
Well, I don't know if you can subsidize poverty, but you can subsidize people to get out of poverty.
Okay.
So I
the
think
other way
this is
around.
what So this is what this new tax regime is about, and they are proposing the creation of new agencies in place of the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) in Nigeria. So all kinds of things coming with the proposal. However, where the operatives of Tinubu miss the point is in how they come out swinging and how they can be so combative and spoiling for war, so feisty and ferocious in the way they man. If everybody can emulate the tactics and method of Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, that guy is methodical, is persuasive, and he knows his onions and he's doing a good job of trying to carry the larger society along, making sure it's an art sale. Nobody likes the tax man. Nobody. Even when you read the Bible, when they tell you of Matthew, the publican, what do you think they are talking about? They're referring to his antecedent as a tax collector. How about diminutive Zacchaeus? Remember that climbed on the sycamore tree to see Jesus, and Jesus told him, "Come down, today salvation and settled into you." What was his reputation as a tax collector? Everybody thought Jesus had no business going to his house, mixing with him. This person that would tax people dry. And remember the late Olowo of Owo, Sir Olatere Olagbegi. Remember, he in his younger days had worked as revenue collector, and that was how he got the bad profile he had initially and ran into trouble when he later became a king.
That's not the so in essence, that's not the most fun job to have.
That is it. So I do not envy Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, but if this will give Nigerian taxpayer a better deal, why not? The only thing they are not talking about is when all these taxes come in, how do they monitor? Is it going to service the luxury of some kleptomaniacs in the public arena, like somebody owning 750 duplexes and what have you? Where do you think that money came from? So Mr. Taiwo Oyedele's committee is doing a good job, but they must also try and work out the details of how to monitor how taxes are spent. This shouldn't have called for all these long-drawn battles and a very heated debate. But for the fact that all the money that Nigerians pay, they finally empty into some people's pocket, private pockets. So if this thing can be monitored and used for the good of the public, if it's deployed pro bono et publico, honestly, there won't be any stress about it at all. I too, if I live in Nigeria, and even as a property owner in Nigeria, if I were there, I would gladly contribute. I do not know. People should understand that.
Okay.
Just like the air you breathe, that is how vital and important taxes for the running of public services.
Some kind of way to fund the system, at least.
Yeah, it's so essential.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, and follow. Please hit the like button, share, subscribe, and follow. Join the conversation in the comment area. We'd like to hear your thoughts on this. And yes, we'll be right back. We have some more trendy stories around the world. All right, welcome back. Hunter pardon. Hunter Biden's son is pardoned. Trump slams Biden's move as miscarriage of justice. I want us to talk about this. I'm looking at a report on CNN. It says President Joe Biden's decision to pardon his son has left some Democrats fuming over his choice to repeatedly and unequivocally that word is always interesting. Unequivocally claim that he would never take that step, even though a pardon long appeared possible to Hunter Biden's legal team. Right? Now, my own take on this, I'm just going to share my own take real quick, and I want you to go. Right? Is that before go? But let me hear your take on this. Because now Trump is saying it's miscarriage of justice. Trump has been convicted 34 times. He's going into the White House. So I'm not sure. Where are we in terms of our upholding the statute of integrity in this matter? Please.
Well, people will tell you that 99% of the time, politics is not about morality. It's probably more of law and personal accountability. Beyond that said, yes, I agree with people in the Democratic Party that are really offended, up in arms against President Joe Biden for pardoning his adult son. I don't know. They say he's 54 years old or whatever. I don't know how old he is.
Yeah, like 74. But go ahead.
How old?
I said like 74, but go ahead.
Who is 74? No,
the son.
I'm talking of Hunter Biden.
I didn't say 74. I didn't say 74. I say it's like 74. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, the backlash of a lifestyle. But anyway, what they are pointing out to is the fact that they had looked at Joe Biden, Mr. President, as somebody that would be a counterweight to the sliding and the slipping profile of Republican Party operatives who do not see nepotism and cronyism and protectionism, especially for their people who share same biological blood with their leaders, who do not see it as anything wrong. They were going to start maintaining this posture that they are radically different from the bigotry that republicanism has come to represent in American public politics. But all said and done, there is a common denominator between Donald Trump and President Joe Biden, which is the fact that they both are politicians. A good politician, are you listening, Ola? A good politician,
yes, I'm listening,
is one that will tell you that it will rain by 9 a.m. And if rain does not fall by 9 a.m., 12 noon, he is telling you, he's giving you rationalizations to the goofy forecast. So, yes, Joe Biden said it once that he would do that. And that offends me personally. But tell me the father that could help the son, that could help the daughter from falling into the pit, and that would not want to take action. The way Donald Trump went about his campaign, he came back as a vengeful person. He had promised that he would weaponize the Department of Justice. So if Joe Biden does not save his son now, with somebody who is so hungry and determined to bring the roof down on everybody, you think
that would be problematic?
Yeah, you think Hunter Biden will get any justice under Donald Trump?
No, so, I don't think so.
And then jokingly, you said before, Uncle. Yes.
Before, Uncle.
Before, Uncle. Because I was in Nigeria and watching the debate between the gubernatorial candidates in Ondo State during the second, not this one, the election before this one. And people were accusing the late Arakuni Odunayo Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, the then governor of the state, of running a Trinity government that was nothing other than him, his son, and his wife. And then Mr. Peter Oyefashua, the candidate of Social Democratic Party, was asked if there was anything wrong with it. And he said he endorsed that model and said that's what he would do too, that he would be more trusting towards his wife, his children, running the show alongside with him in the government house at Alagbaka. And this is almost like a microcosm of what you find in larger democracies all over the world. Values have shifted. The traditional palace politics that I'm used to. A father cannot be on the throne and the son parades himself as if he's the king. No, that would be seen. That would be seen as.
But let me ask this, sir. Could he parade himself as the prince?
Of course, there are princes, but to want to show that you are the preferred, then you are bound to suffer the fate of Joseph, the dreamer. You can't put yourself out there like that. That you are the prince apparent. You know how competitive it is.
So from what we saw in movies and stories, princes can actually, we've seen stories where princes were paraded themselves as above everybody else, sometimes even above the law, even in traditional monarchy settings. In such
scripts that you see in drama, what usually ends it up.
That's true. It always ends bad.
It's almost, the moral of it is that pride goes before fall. So you cannot native wisdom is such that you must be easygoing, you avoid all troubles, you don't create scandals for your family, yourself, or the community. You must. So Hunter Biden did so much, but that was on a personal note. He was never an elected official, and he never operated on behalf of the United States of America. Look at what, on the other hand, the person that is shouting blue murder, that is looking at it as being corrupt and
miscarriage of justice.
What did his children do when he was in power the first time? What would they do now? I mean, you saw the way everybody was.
They're not going to be a part of the cabinet or any. They're not going to.
They were not even part of the cabinet, other than Ivanka at that time. Right. But what we're saying is that from what we know about him, I mean, having to build a Trump hotel close to the White House, and there are all kinds of people jostling to see him, breaking the emolument clause. Everything becomes so argumentative in this country. What I'm saying, in essence, is that. As we are, we will proceed with caution. We look at what these people say, their body language, and their real actions. Yes, Joe Biden if he could trust the man that was coming in, that is coming in, would not have said, oh, he wanted to exercise that prerogative, a pardon for his son. That said, Joe Biden is in Africa today. Is in the southwestern African nation of Angola, and
oh wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yes, yeah, he is there. Okay, you've been flying for the past. You've been in flight for the past 2 days or so. That is what is happening, and one thing that this has shown is that as a lame duck president, this is the time he finds to visit Africa. And what are they there to do? They said they are commissioning or flagging off some rail track, some $3 billion investment from the United States of America through what is known as Lobito Corridor that would service the transportation of goods to coastlines and all that. We would have loved that whatever they are spending as a counterpoise to the growing influence of China on the continent, because we know that China does not hold anybody accountable, does not want any government in Africa to give good deals to the citizens. On the contrary, America would want to pull the lever and say, oh, human rights and this and that. And people are really suffering on the continent. So we would have loved them to really put the money down, not to evacuate resources, cobalt, and everything that will be relevant in the auto industry that will be evacuated from Africa. Can some of this, can African leaders really broker a good deal that will make African resources to stay within Africa and not transported out of Africa raw, things that are processed, and the production capital can stay within the continent. So whether because Joe Biden, one thing he did today that really impressed me was talking and not avoiding. He was talking about the slavery past. You will remember that from Angola alone, through this slave whatever monument that is in Angola, more than 4 million Africans were yanked off the continent and brought to the continent of America and Brazil and everywhere. So what we're saying is that let this not be like that. You just take people, human resource, and then you take mineral resources out of the continent and nothing is brought back. And you see all kinds of videos trending on social media about the intention of the West and the other countries, leading industrial nations of the world. What they want for Africa is not situations that will make Africa to be free indeed. And what we are calling for here is a situation in which deals that are signed, yes, we can't live in isolation. If we must not live in isolation, deals that are brokered with international community, whether Tinubu in France or anybody anywhere.
Let's round this up.
Yes, anybody elsewhere, that those things will benefit Africans right within that place. And Tinubu again is already in South Africa or wherever. Whatever they can do, maintaining a solid front as people, leaders of Africa, there must be a good deal for the people. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Join the conversation, please. Join the conversation. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. What if that was you? Would you pardon your son? I would like to know what your thoughts are. In this case, I don't think we can be too partisan about this.
Yes, all the time our children offend and we forgive them. So why not?
No, we know your own. I'm asking the people in the comments.
No, but not in a corrupt way anyway.
Okay, we'll try not to be corrupt, but I'm saving my children. Get out of here. Anyway, hit the like button, share, subscribe. We'll be right back. We have some other trendy stories around the world. We'll be right back. all right. Welcome back. We do have this story that's been trending for like 2 days straight. 753 duplexes exposed, in parentheses, by Omoyole Sowore. I saw that somewhere else. But anyway, ex-CBN, Central Bank of Nigeria, Governor Emefiele's Abuja estate forfeited. I think Omoyele Sowore was the one who first named this person, but I'm not sure. But let me read. There's a report here on Sahara Reporters talking about the 753 duplexes that are forfeited. It actually says human rights activist and convener of Revolution Now movement, Omoyele Sowore, confirmed the development in a post on his Twitter. A former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, owns the large estate in Abuja with 753 duplexes forfeited. Hold on 1 second. Let me just, forfeited to the Nigerian government through the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in a court ruling on Monday. Human rights activist and convener of Revolution Now movement, Omoyele Sowore, confirmed the development on a post on X, formerly known as Twitter. Emefiele is standing trial on several charges bordering on corruption, including in the new Naira redesign before the Federal Capital Territory FCT High Court in Maitama, Abuja. Justice Miriam Anini had adjourned the matter to December 4, 2024 and January 21, 2025 for continuation of trial. Sowore had earlier blasted the EFCC for refusing to name the former Nigerian top brass who owned the large estate in Abuja in 753 duplexes. What's your take on this? This is the exact quote from Sowore. Let me just say, just to make sure we put that. It says, "I just heard from the grapevine that the 753 duplexes forfeited by an FCT court in Akpo belonged to Muhammadu Buhari's CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele." Yep. So go ahead. I want to know your thoughts on this. This is
if it comes, of course, you know that whatever Sowore says, I take to be, especially operating within the media space that we know. He is a major disruptor to the kind of organized, she said, reported the protocol journalism that we know in Nigeria. Sowore is a strong exception to that. And when he says it, yes, I believe that is the truth. And really, the debate that was on in the last 24 hours has been that, so who is the phantom owner of this property? At least a closure is being brought to that matter with the way Sowore has stepped out to tell us. He broke the news, the news initially, and now coming out to tell us, giving us this disclosure that everything belongs to Godwin Emefiele. It's so soothing and comforting. And did you listen to what former presidential hopeful on the platform of PDP, Bob D, Mr. Adele Momodu, what he disclosed last week? How one politician.
Wait, what you just said sound like news to me. Is that something that you said hopeful? PDP?
Yeah, yes, he was a presidential hopeful, former.
Oh, he was. Okay, he was former. That's true. Yeah.
Hopeful of PDP. So what he said, because in that interview, he has said he would no longer run for office unless there is a consensus and they said, "Will come and be president." You know, in that race,
at least I heard that podcast. Yes.
Yeah, in that race, he spent 50 million naira collecting the nomination form for PDP, but he now gave this disclosure there that one presidential candidate or aspirant in PDP spent $30,000, gave $30,000 to each delegate that represented 774 local governments in Nigeria at that PDP convention, where the presidential candidate was eventually chosen. Which produced Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. So you can calculate what that amounts to. $30,000 times 774 local governments in Nigeria. Honestly, I do not want to really waste too much saliva on this matter.
I know.
Other than Nigerian leaders, past and present. Past and present, they have really drained that system of much needed financial resources, brazen stealing, wanton plundering of the system. This is what we have. This is what we have. And this world that is so ephemeral, this world that is so transient, how can a person boldly step out to say he owns 753 duplexes? Apart from other apartments, and you say what?
As a government official.
Yes, and shamelessly enough, when you are a banker, you see the way bankers are in America. You are not allowed. You live within your means. But what do we have about Nigerian bankers? Whether it is this Emefiele or even others before him, they just think printing naira notes and being kept in charge of Nigeria's foreign reserve is an opportunity for them to help with our resources. So this is really disturbing. It is so gross that I do not know. I'm never excited to recommend death penalty for anybody that is found guilty of corruption. But there are cases that really meet that threshold. This is almost like poking fun at the Nigerians who toil day and night to put food on the table, and then they are not able to actualize that. They want their children to be somewhere. You know how much schools could be built with the money that was used to do that, and all over Abuja. Not even now alone. Right from time past, you will see houses that are not occupied. You want to rent houses, they are priced beyond normal. And then you say that country will know peace. At what expense? Let us think so deeply about what we're doing to ourselves. Hello?
I'm here. Yes, sir. Yeah. I mean, it's a sad situation. I think the worst that these people have drained Nigeria is not necessarily money, because money is energy, it flows. It's more so of the mindset of the average Nigerian mind.
Yeah, look at some people during the time these people were trying to play their political abracadabra, and then they said they were changing notes and printing new money. And you saw the way rotten notes, rotten, the way they were being brought out of some leaders' homes,
right,
being destroyed and all that. What were they keeping all that money for? You see the way Nigerian system works?
So useless.
Yes, these same people who were so reluctant in mentioning Emefiele's name are always eager to go to university campuses, look at those idiotic 419ers too, and put them on parade. But the real thieves, those who are really guilty of fraud and corruption,
you're trying to protect them. So the reality is that he wasn't even named.
Yes.
We're just dropping names now.
Not just dropping names. You would. You will ascribe that to investigative journalists. When Showore tells you, even when you are one-on-one with him, when he tells you things, right, you know that he doesn't open his mouth to talk if he doesn't have his facts.
I agree.
And that is why all of them think that he is their nemesis, and it is a matter of who gets to him first, if they want to really take him out. But God is able to preserve him.
EFCC will have to make some kind of statement. I mean, either to deny it or confirm it.
They've been making statements. They made a statement today. I think, if I've not forgotten, they were talking of some procedure and how things are usually done, and saying that those properties are the entity on trial, not persons. You see the legal gymnastics
That
that
is stupid.
the delicate rope dance that they engage in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, everybody. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. We come back here every week to try to deliver this. We want you to also join the conversation. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. I am away, so pardon the noise in the background a little bit. So, but hopefully we deliver this week. If you think so, you got some value, please join the conversation. Also help us share this all around the world. You're
Yeah,
watching
we'll try.
SharpEdge News TV.
Yeah, we'll try and do something concrete about the new NNPC operations in Port Harcourt, how the refinery is now working for the good of Nigerians next week, hopefully. Thank you so much.
Take care, everybody. Talk soon. God bless.